Welcome back to our channel. I'm Gabs, one half of Slip Sis, and this is my Bay Area Yarn Crawl 2024 vlog. So the Bay Area Yarn Crawl is the San Francisco Bay Area. There was, I believe, 23 shops participating in it, and it runs from March 15th through the 24th. So today is March 16th. I did not participate yesterday because it was Friday, and I'm a drama teacher, so I took my students to see Mean Girls at the local high school that was putting it on, so I wasn't able to go after work. So today it's about 3:13. It's exactly 3:13. I had sports stuff with my girls in the morning, so now I'm off to my first and only shop of the day, which is a Pop of Color Yarns in Morgan Hill. I live in San Jose, so it's telling me it's about 20 minutes away. 101 of course has traffic on it, so I'm gonna go check it out, and I've been there before, but I'm excited to see what they've got going on. I don't think you can see it well, but I'm wearing a knit fit. This is my jumper. It's a knit jumper, like it's a full, can you see it all the way down? Yep, full body knitwear. Yep, full body knitwear. I figure I really like this jumper, but I'm not brave enough to wear it to work to teach in, because what if something goes awry? So I figure a full knit jumper is perfect for the yarn crawl. The designer is Patricia Lima of Lima Knits, and it's the Navigo jumper. I'm really excited for it, just to have it out and about in the wild. And I will let you know what I think after our first shop. See you later. Parking is pretty great at a Pop of Color. It's located in a plaza, so there's a lot of parking in front of the store and nearby. Okay, just got out of Pop of Color. It's a great yarn store. I'm actually just sitting in the parking lot so I don't forget to tell you all the things. They are under new ownership for about 14 months. They used to be another yarn store called the Continental Stitch, and I was actually pretty hesitant about coming to Pop of Color because when they were Continental Stitch, the owner was not very kind or welcoming. Well, this owner is very kind and welcoming. Her children are all in the arts, performing arts specifically. Her daughter, who's a grown-up, is lovely and working the store. She's super nice. I got to meet Nancy Bates of Knitting the National Parks and Knitting California. They're awesome. So I would highly recommend. They were so nice to everyone in the shop. As soon as they walked in, they greeted everyone. Super friendly, super engaging. I'll share my yarn haul at the end. I did buy a skein of yarn. It's super cute. It's pink and black because I think I'm on a Mean Girls kick. And Knitty Natty is going to be doing a yarn store tour of their shop. They say they're filming it. They filmed it last week. So I think that it'll probably come out in a couple months, but you should definitely check it out. They're so nice, and they recognized me as soon as I walked in the store. They actually thought I was my sister, but they were like, "Hey, Kay," and I'm like, "Kay," and they're like, is that not how you say it?" I'm like, "Say what?" And they're like, "Oh no, are you the other one?" And I'm like, "Gabs, you mean Gabs?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, they recognized me in Shaylee." So that was awesome to be recognized in the wild. She was so sweet. They're an amazing shop. Definitely coming back. I can't say it more. I can't say anything better. They're definitely recommend to come. Super friendly. The parking is very easy. I'm parked like 2 spots away from the front door. It's easy to get to off the 101 freeway. They're in a shopping center, so you could get pizza. They're next to an animal rescue. They close pretty early on most weekends. They're open late today because of the yarn crawl. They're open till 6. Usually they close till 3, which is a little tricky for me. But I think they're open a little bit later during the weekdays, so I'll pop the information down below. But store number 1, awesome. Super great start. Bay Area Yarn Crawl check-in. Okay, it is day 3 of the Bay Area Yarn Crawl, day 2 for me, who didn't do it on Friday. And today is the big traveling day. I plan to drive to San Leandro to meet my dad, who's going to do most of the driving. And we are, I think, gonna hit 8 or 9 shops today, I think is the plan. Our plan is to circle through, hit the 2 stores in Livermore, hit the other store in Lafayette. I think there's another one, so we're gonna try and hit that La Miranda area. Oh, La Miranda, I guess maybe it's a portmanteau. La Miranda is Lafayette, Moraga, and Orinda. It's like an area, and then I guess maybe it's a Bay Area thing. You smush it all together. So we're gonna try and hit Livermore, then La Miranda, then Berkeley, Albany, which is Black Squirrel and Avenue Yarns, Oakland for A Verb for Keeping Warm. I've never been to A Verb for Keeping Warm. And then we are going to, that's 3, that was 5. 7 was out in Livermore. Then we're going to Coved of Stitches in Alameda, which is not an official yarn crawl store, but we're gonna go anyway because it just opened. It's opening weekend and we'd love to support. And then there's one more shop that I'm either gonna hit on the way, probably on the way home, which is, I think it's Aria is how you say it, in Hayward, because Hayward is between San Jose and San Leandro. So if you're not from the Bay Area, you're like, she just said a bunch of cities and I have no idea which they are, how they go. Okay, so here's how it goes. My parents' home of San Leandro is kind of in the middle of all those shops. We're going to head east first towards Livermore, then northeast out to La Miranda, then I guess just north into Oakland, right? So we're making a counterclockwise circle, and then Alameda. Then we'll swing down to Alameda, which is west of my parents' house, and then I'll hit Hayward, which is south of my parents' house, and I live about 45 minutes south. That's the very rough geography of the Bay Area. None of this is in San Francisco. So if you imagine the whale's tail, which is what the San Francisco Bay looks like, we are on the, this is the straight part of the whale's tail. All the stuff we're doing is here. It's all in the east. None of it's by the bridge or anything like that. But I'm excited. I will take you along. I've already bought one thing at Pop of Color yesterday, which is even further south from me. And I will let you know what I think. Where are we going, Dad?
Aria and Hayward.
Yeah, it is 15 minutes away, we think. Yes, I've already had my first oopsie in that Mom and Dad got a new car, and apparently there's like no exterior handle on the door, so I tried to get in the door and he wouldn't let me in. So I have to like push a button to make the handle pop out. I don't know, Mom has to let me get in the car, so I don't know what I'm gonna do when I have to try and get in by myself. But we're off to Aria in Hayward. We should get there at, the GPS says 10:05. However, we have a goal of 10 yarn stores today, and I'm trying to be back in San Jose by 5. So, wish us luck. This is our first stop of Aria Craft Studio in Hayward, and I'm pretty sure throughout the rest of this video I will say their name wrong. Alright, we just finished stop 1, which is Aria Craft Studio in Hayward. Dad is driving, don't worry, it's not me behind the wheel while it's moving. It was really great. We were there for about 15 minutes, right, Dad? About 15 minutes. I'd say they have like 4 yarn lines, I guess. They had what looked like a local yarn dyer from out of Alameda. It looks like they had Cascade. They had their own studio line. And then it looked like, I think they had like Pima Cotton or something like that. So, of course, we bought things from the indie dyer out of Alameda. It was really cute and definitely affordable prices even for the Bay Area. So we'll do a haul shot afterwards, but Dad got a 6 mini skein DK weight mini set, I guess, in all these really beautiful red and black colors, and I got a sock set with 2 minis. So now we are off to, where are we off to, Dad? In Between Stitches in Livermore. The GPS says it's 19 miles away, which hopefully we get there pretty quickly because one of the freeways, the 680, is under construction this weekend, and we're hoping traffic isn't awful. So wish us luck that we don't get caught up in this interchange and it's terrible. But if it is, then you'll probably see me check in. All right, see you later. The parking for In Between Stitches is a little bit unorthodox. You make a series of turns into what looks like a building complex, and then you're able to park. There's a little bit of street parking, but not much. They had a trunk show, which was Deli Q, as well as West Yorkshire Spinners. Okay, second store of the day. That was In Between Stitches, which is a yarn shop, quilt shop combo, and they had lots of the, like, I guess, classics that you see at most local yarn stores, like Cascade and Mad Tosh and Pima Cotton, all of those kind of like regular things that you see. I don't think they had a Deli Q trunk show. However, Deli Q is quite expensive, so I'm saving buying Deli Q until I go to Jimmy Bean's Wool Retreat, because hopefully we'll get some like strike-offs. Oh, railroad tracks! Their quilt shop was awesome. I actually think their selection of quilt items was more extensive than their yarn shop. So if I was looking for quilt stuff, I might take my mother-in-law back out here, because that was pretty cool for their quilt. Shop options was great. We are now headed to Knit This, Purl That. It is currently going to be how many minutes away? 10 minutes away, also in Livermore. It's been great. People have been really nice to us. So we're excited to see the next shop. You can see Dad's excitement. See? Be excited, Dad. Good job. We're here at Knit This, Purl That, but they are closed. So I doubt we will be able to fill out our bingo card, because they're my corner space right here. All right. Hopefully they're able to reopen soon. We stopped for lunch at Armadillo Willie's. I got a wedge salad, and Dad got a small plate brisket. This is Busy Sticks in Lafayette. Okay, this was yarn shop number 4. This was Busy Sticks in Lafayette. Knit This, Purl That was closed due to family emergency, and we are not going back because it was all the way at Livermore. We stopped for lunch at Armadillo Willie's, which was delicious. I had a wedge salad. Dad had a small plate with brisket. Yeah. Okay. We both liked it. We've discovered that if you, ooh, it's very bumpy. Sorry. Let me try and stabilize my arm better. That you have to order juicy, not lean, or lean and juicy. All right, this is just like a bumping roller coaster. Lafayette's a bit hilly. We are now headed to Black Squirrel in Berkeley. We have decided to forego Albany Yarns Avenue Yarns in Albany, because I've been there before, and so has Chaley, and it doesn't help us get bingo. So, and I want to go to Coved of Stitches in Alameda, which is not on the official bingo card, but we've never been, and it's their opening weekend, which is why I've never been. So that's what we're doing. It is going to take us some amount of time, 24 minutes to go to Black Squirrel. We've been to Black Squirrel. I've been twice. I think Dad's been once. Chaley's been a couple times. We really like Black Squirrel, so I'm excited to get there again. I wish they were slightly closer. Also, the parking at Black Squirrel is kind of terrible. It's always been terrible. We always have to walk like a quarter to half a mile for any kind of parking, so that will take us a bit, but then we can get some exercise after lunch. All right, see you in a bit. We got super lucky and found parking pretty close by to the entrance of Black Squirrel. There was so many people in this store. I barely got any footage, but they have the most beautiful selection of yarn. Definitely one of my favorites in the Bay Area. All right, we just finished Black Squirrel. Black Squirrel is by far my favorite store with the kind of stock that they carry. Their aesthetic is very similar to mine and Chaley's, which is quite bright. Dad got 2 jars of jam. What flavors did you get, Dad?
Raspberry and strawberry.
Raspberry and strawberry, because I talked him out of the lemon Meyer marmalade, because I'm pretty sure Mom doesn't like marmalade. Also, I don't like marmalade. So if Mom doesn't like the jam, if Mom didn't like marmalade, who was going to eat the marmalade? But I like raspberry and strawberry jam, and so does Dad. I got 2 colorways. They're called Wanna Go to Taco Bell and So Fetch, which I felt like I had to because I just did Mean Girls. There was a lovely sales section, and I got kind of caught up in the sales section and then like had a bunch of stuff and put it all back in favor of the other two skeins that I bought, but everything was 30% off. And they do have some backstock of Earl Grey Fiber Company, who's one of my favorite dyers, that is no longer dyeing yarn. I just didn't like the colorways they had. They're also like a little bit manhandled, so they're a little bit like fuzzy. So that was less than ideal. All right, we are off to Oakland's yarn store on San Pablo Avenue. It is a verb for keeping warm. I've never been there. I always want to go. So now because of the yarn crawl, their hours are actually open way longer. So I hope it is worth the hype that is in my mind right now. Oh, railroad tracks. Oh man. All right, here we go. Hey, we just left a verb for keeping warm. Neither of us bought anything. People were nice in there. It was lovely. They had a beautiful palette of yarn, but I told Dad, I was like, this feels like the Whole Foods of the yarn industry, where they've got great stuff. You like all the stuff, but it's quite expensive. They had the majority of their selection was either Spin Cycle or La Bien-Aimée, which is quite expensive. It's beautiful. They're aesthetically very pleasing, and the clerk was lovely. There were a couple of people who were kind of monopolizing the conversation and like taking up half the shop. It's not that big of a shop, but there were people posing for photos that were taking up a good chunk of the shop, and it definitely felt like we were on the outside, on the fringes. So I got my bingo board stamped, and now we're going to a Coved of Stitches in Alameda, which is not an official yarn crawl shop, but it's brand new, so we want to check it out. I have decided to skip Piedmont Yarns because I fear that it is very similar to all the other shops we've already seen. They don't have a trunk show that I want to see, thus we're kind of petered out. We also need to go to Joanne to pick up some yarn for Lottie because she wants a Teka Tefiti amigurumi, where she wants, it's like a Lord Voldemort, Professor Quirrell Teka Tefiti, right? Like Teka on one face, but on the back of the head is Tefiti. I don't know what Dad's gonna do. It's gonna be a whole thing. But we're off to a Coved of Stitches. We should be there in about 15 minutes. I love the selection of yarn at Coved of Stitches. Lots of really great indie dyers. But one of the coolest things was their stitch marker bar, where you could pick out 5 stitch markers of your choice, and then you just paid kind of a flat rate for it. And a happy surprise, we ran into Chaley's best friend, Michaela, and her boyfriend, Diego. So we chatted with them for a while. Okay, last shop. It was an official shop, but it is Coved of Stitches in Alameda. It was great. It is a quite small shop, so there was a little bit of squishiness that was happening because basically all the yarn that everybody wanted was on the same wall. So there was a lot of like shifting and jockeying for position, which was fine. Everyone was perfectly nice. It was just like, it would have been better if there was more space. But they just opened 3 days ago. It was a great store. Dad got some bulky yarn from Frost Yarn, and I got some fingering weight from Ryan Yarn. It's a really like electric orange, so I'm pretty excited about that. And then on the way out, we ran into Chaley's friend Michaela and her boyfriend Diego. So we ended up chatting with them in the parking lot for like a half an hour. Mostly Dad and Diego were talking about everything and bikes, and then Michaela and I were talking about knitting, and hopefully she's going to get started on a sweater she wants to make that she saw at Nordstrom's, and she wants to make it herself. So we are now headed back to San Leandro, which is going to take 24 minutes to get back to San Leandro from Alameda because it's all city streets. And then I am headed home. All right, yarn crawl haul segment. I got this lovely pink from Pop of Color, which I think I showed yesterday. It also came with a pink tape measure and this cute stitch marker. And just like we did on our wine country one, I think, I'm gonna tell you the prices. So this was $25.99. Don't forget taxes in 3 different counties in this, stop chewing on the screen, in 3 different counties in this yarn crawl. San Francisco County, oh maybe it's 4 different counties. San Francisco, Alameda, oh it's more, it's like, and Contra Costa. Next at Aria, we got this yarn sock set. It's called On Holiday Set. The large skein is 400 yards and the mini skeins are 20 each. It is a merino nylon blend and it is Bay Farm Dye House. I'm at the kitchen table, so that's what all the noise is. And this was $34, which was ended up being $37 with tax. Then we went to, I didn't buy yarn at every store. My other purchase was from Black Squirrel in Berkeley.
That's pretty, Mom.
Thank you. This one is called Wanna Go to Taco Bell, and it's by Salty Blonde Fiber, which was dyed in Colorado.
I like that one.
You like that one?
My sister likes the yarn.
Yes. And then this one
I like too.
you like too. It's called So Fetch. And each of these were $30. And then the last thing I got was from Coved of Stitches, and this was called by Ryan Yarn, which is hand dyed in Athens, Georgia, and it is called Believe in Love. So this was $29. So I ended up with,
Everything smells.
that's it. Everything is just snack. That's the rest. I ended up with 5 things. Technically 7.
A lot of yarn.
You love a lot of yarn. Which one did you like best? This one? Yeah.
This one, and this one, and this part, and this one.
So you like all, Letty, what about you?
I like that one.
You like this one?
That one, and that.
You like that one, and that one. Okay, so we're big fans. So the rest of the wrap up is favorite shops that I would recommend to go to is Black Squirrel and Coved of Stitches for their selection. This is what I got at Coved of Stitches, and this is what I got at Black Squirrel. Their aesthetic is very similar to mine and Shaylee's, so for me, they have the best selection. Those are the ones that I would go back to for the type of yarn to buy. And Pop of Color had great customer service, so I would go back there just like for a knit group and that kind of thing. But I think the one that overall I liked absolutely the best, like if I had to pick which was my favorite, it was Coved of Stitches, which it wasn't even on the yarn crawl, because she had great Coved of Stitches was the best in terms of like selection as well as customer service. Sorry, my like top 3 honorable mention is definitely Aria and Hayward. They were also very, no one was mean though. It's not like anyone was bad. It was like if you had to pick your top, I think these are the 4, like the big 4 that I would recommend to other people again. Everything else was great too. I don't think you could go wrong with any of them, but I think I've decided I'm not going to go to Fillory and Uncommon Threads because they are my local yarn stores, and I'm not going to be able to make bingo anyway. That is one of the drawbacks, is they felt like the bingo was unattainable, right? That it just didn't feel like you could do it. So I didn't love that. I also really didn't love that Knit This Pearl That was closed, which is fine for family emergency, things happen, but it wasn't posted anywhere. So we basically drove out there. And I checked the Bay Area Yarn Crawl Instagram. It didn't look like it was posted, at least when we were out there. Maybe it is now. And on their website, it wasn't posted. And on Knit This Pearl That's Instagram, it wasn't posted either, nor on their website. So it just felt kind of like, if we'd only driven out to Livermore for that, that would have totally sucked. But fortunately, we didn't. So that was okay. It is their first year. So I think it's great. Hopefully it happens again. And yeah, it would be I mean, there are 4 yarn shops that I would definitely go to. Hopefully the bingo is different next time, and then maybe I can kind of play along, because I don't have my bingo card here. Do I? Nope, I just have receipts. So I did bingo, but I didn't really feel like it was the draw. Lots of stores had raffles and stuff like that, so fingers crossed maybe you win something. And if you like this video, like and subscribe so you can check out the next things that we're gonna do.